Coming up, Star Wars getting threatened by stormtroopers, what it's like to fly the Millennium Falcon, and the entire spirit of Hollywood, California in theme park form. Stay tuned.
Don't want to be afraid, hard not to hesitate.
Good morning, everyone. This is Trey from Midwest Day Trips here in Orlando, Florida, checking out Hollywood Studios at Disney World. So grab a lightsaber, come day tripping with us.
Disney Hollywood Studios opened in 1989 in an effort to compete with Universal Studios, which opened a year later. The park has changed quite a bit since then.
I remember coming here when it was called Disney MGM Studios. That was back in the 90s. This place is awesome, and it's only getting bigger and bigger every decade.
Most notably, we have the addition of Toy Story Land and Star Wars Galaxy Edge, which opened in 2018 and 2019 respectively. We're going to check out both of them in this visit. The Muppets hold a special place in my heart. If you weren't around for the 1980s and before, it's easy to disregard their importance in pop culture, because they have definitely lost a bit of their relevancy ever since Jim Henson passed away in 1990. That man was a visionary and creative genius. This attraction was one of Henson's last projects that he worked on. The show itself is a lot of fun. You don't have to be a fan of the Muppets to appreciate this, and in fact, this would be a perfect introduction for your kiddos if they have never watched them.
Our one world is breathing with you and me in harmony, revolving.
We lost a national treasure when we lost Jim Henson. He was taken from us way too early. One of the few people to change the world.
To peace like a tree.
Poor Max. Goofy wouldn't let him get some frozen gelato. And speaking of Frozen, our little day tripper really wanted to go see the Frozen sing-along show. And I'm glad he suggested it because we really enjoyed it.
Celebrating the Aerosol Festival!
For obvious reasons, we're not including the actual music, but don't front. You're more than familiar with these songs anyway. And if you're not, well, there's a reason that it became the highest grossing animated film at the time. It's the same reason that kids beg their parents to see this show. The music is phenomenal, and the top single, Let It Go, is up there with some of the best Disney songs of all time. Pure raw talent and emotion. They really build up the appearance of Elsa, the Ice Queen, who has the powers to wield ice and snow as a major event in the show. When people talk about Disney magic, this is the type of thing that they are referring to. There's nothing quite like an indoor blizzard in Central Florida. What a spectacle to behold. The presence of Star Wars at Hollywood Studios was 100% a game changer. When Galaxy's Edge first opened, it was a madhouse. Wait times were crazy long. We're talking get to the park at opening and get your reservations in immediately. Luckily, things have calmed down quite a bit since then.
Transport any moment. What do you mean you are doing all the work? You ungrateful little twit.
This ride, Star Tours, isn't a part of Galaxy's Edge though, as it predates that part of the park.
So this is the original Star Wars ride at Disney World. This has been here since the 80s, but it's changed drastically since then.
Well, actually, the original Star Tours ride is considered closed and replaced with an updated version. Semantics. To me, it's still the same ride.
Passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
A drastically updated version of the same ride, but the same ride nonetheless, from a certain point of view, of course. Unfortunately, they don't allow photography on the ride. It's really cool though because it actually features Darth Vader, who is conspicuous by his absence at Galaxy's Edge. And speaking of Galaxy's Edge, here we go. To get there, you pass through this recreation of the Los Angeles Figueroa Street Tunnel. Galaxy's Edge is unique in the sense that it's canonically part of the Star Wars storyline as it takes place between Episode 8 and Episode 9. Thus, you will only see characters from that part of the saga. It takes place on a planet called Batuu in a town called Black Spire Outpost. The aesthetic of Black Spire Outpost matches that of the original Star Wars in the sense that it feels lived in. Before Star Wars, science fiction tended to have locations that looked shiny and new, but Star Wars wasn't like that, and neither is Galaxy's Edge. It is definitely cool to see the characters out and about. They really make you feel like you've stumbled right into the middle of a conflict. But this is what I came for, the opportunity to ride in the Millennium Falcon, and I have to tell you, they got this part right. Every aspect of Smugglers Run, the name of this ride, makes you feel like you're really boarding and flying this iconic ship. The idea behind this ride is that you are part of a smuggling team, and of course, with it being Star Wars, this includes being shot at with lasers and such. This ride, as well as Star Tours, basically involves watching a TV screen, and the room will tilt and rotate accordingly to make you feel like you're really flying. This was a totally cool experience.
Complete faith in you, but I am coming along with you, Justin.
You'll either be a pilot, a gunner, or an engineer. Our little day tripper and myself were both engineers. Our job was to push the buttons when they lit up. Julia was a gunner. Her job was to make things blow up. Rise of the Resistance is really something to behold. The whole attraction has something like 3 parts to it, and they tell an entire story. You know how sometimes you wait in line for a long time and the ride is over within a few minutes? This entire attraction is 18 minutes long. That is a long duration for a Disney World attraction.
Thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now...
At this point, we are riding a transport on a secret resistance mission, and we get intercepted by the First Order. We are then boarded and put on a Star Destroyer where we are herded into a new room and processed by a group of unfriendly First Order officers.
Enemies of the First Order, we will soon snuff out your meager resistance. You chose the wrong side.
The stormtroopers are really cool, along with the TIE fighter. They make you feel outnumbered. This is definitely the part of the attraction where you stop and take a selfie. At this point, a rescue operation is underway, and the duration of the ride part of this attraction involves the escape attempt and Kylo Ren trying to stop you from escaping. It is really cool, and it goes on for quite a while, actually. And even though we don't have any of the other cool Star Wars characters that we'd want to see, at least we have Chewbacca. The food was actually really good. They make it look exotic, but it doesn't taste exotic. It tastes like typical American food. What you're seeing here is braised beef, crispy chicken, and various side items. My chicken had a chipotle sauce, which I absolutely love. We would actually eat here again. Of course, it's not Disney without ample shopping opportunities. As a Star Wars fan, some of the things here are really tempting, even with the high price tags. This is where you can build a droid, which are remote controlled. They make a whole production out of it. You can also build a lightsaber somewhere. If you're planning on doing either of these activities, bring money. And now let's check out Toy Story Land. The main attraction is Slinky Dog Dash, which is a family-friendly roller coaster. We really wanted to ride this one, but wait times were steep, and the ride was down for several hours on the day that we went. Oh well, maybe next time. Alien Swirling Saucers is a lot of fun. We rode it twice. A nice ride to take your kids on as long as they can stay seated. They actually stopped the ride halfway through and made us start over because someone wouldn't sit down. We appreciate the attention to safety protocol. Toy Story Mania is a shooting game. You ride in moving cars, wear 3D glasses, and shoot virtual discs to rack up points. This is much like the Buzz Lightyear shooting game at Magic Kingdom. It's a lot of fun to have a bit of friendly competition. Plus, it's cool to be an active participant in the attraction. as opposed to just passively watching something.
As I said, this will be the third time I've been to Hollywood Studios. It's changed drastically in the 2 times since I've been here. Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge are both brand new. They're both on the smaller side because they're new. I imagine they're going to build those up over the years, but time will see on that one.
Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I've been to this park 3 times, and I've seen this show 3 times. I love this show. It truly captures the spirit of what this park is supposed to be. Fun, larger than life, and educational too. It gives you something of an idea of what it's like to work with stunts, pyrotechnics, and other practical effects while shooting a film or producing a live show. So check this out. This is just a sample of the 25-minute live show. Indiana Jones may not be as culturally relevant as he used to be, but I'll be darned they still come out and fill this amphitheater. Mostly because this is a great show to see. Plus, it's an excuse to get off your feet for a little while. Our boy really enjoyed this show. It's an adrenaline-soaked spectacle of daring do. So much fun, gymnastics, choreographed fight scenes, big falls, guns, explosions, all of that good stuff. They really nailed the tone of Indiana Jones here. High stakes with just the right amount of comic relief thrown into the fight scenes. There's something about these behind-the-scenes type shows that really appeal to me. I love watching and seeing how movies come together, and I love watching them change the sets, maneuver the cameras, etc. I can watch that kind of thing for hours, man. Or maybe your little one is just a little too little. Disney Junior has a presence here, and it was actually quite a bit of fun. This dance party was really cool, and they encouraged the kids to get up and dance along with the MC and all of the characters. I'd personally recommend this one for any family who likes music and dancing. You don't have to be on the young side to enjoy this one, but it certainly helps. It was cool to see Mickey on stage. And speaking of Mickey, we didn't know what to expect from this newer ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It had replaced a previous attraction called the Great Movie Ride. This ride was much better than we expected. The premise is that it starts with a Mickey Mouse cartoon and hijinks ensue, and the crowd actually gets to enter the cartoon.
Will I help these good people into the cartoon while I fix this here locomotive?
And it really makes you feel like you're in a cartoon. Everything looks artificial, in a good way. Vibrant colors, wacky situations. This was my #1 favorite new experience that I had on this Disney trip. Highly recommended.
The crowds are definitely bigger than I remember them in the past. I think the new extensions, you could thank the new extensions for that. Right now heading for the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. At one point this was arguably the most intense ride at Disney World, but there's been several since then that kind of make it seem tame in comparison.
The idea is that you are riding a service elevator in the Hollywood Tower Hotel, and it's haunted. The elevator has a mind of its own, and you go up and down, catching glimpses of the park through the windows. Fun fact, each ride is randomly computer generated, so you never have the exact same experience twice. I was actually having technical difficulties getting footage while on this ride, but Disney actually generated a little souvenir video clip for us, which shows me trying to get a shot and then giving up. Of course, I had to get a shot of this poster. I love the Three Caballeros. All in all, Hollywood Studios is a great place to have a good time, especially if you have an appreciation for movies or for Hollywood culture in general. We look forward to our next visit, and I'm sure it will look completely different by the time that happens. Alright, that's going to about do it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check back all the time for new content. Take care, everyone.